what is the cultural phenomenon about this film?
Yeah.
Like, step it away from the superhero bit, and then even move it away from like just Black people, because that's not what it is. There's something else about it.
Yeah.
And maybe because everyone doesn't look Hollywood that is in it. You know, as you said, so many different shades, so many different body types.
Noses, lips, eyes, skin,
right?
Cheekbones, not cheekbones.
Yes.
Jaw, like this thing Angela has down here on her jaw.
Yes.
Jesus crikey, it's a lot. And it's like, I was watching it the first day and I was like, how dare you say Black women are ugly?
Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I thought. And then I was like, I would love to see every film with just all Black people. Like, I just want to live in that universe just for a little bit.
Do you know how beautiful we are? It's insane.
That's exactly what I thought.
Show me a white lady with a bald head that can flex
Honestly,
the way
like
we
that.
flex.
Hey.
Hello, welcome to the Fuck It Up Comedy Club podcast. I am your host, Kima Bob, and you are now tuned in to an unapologetic celebration of comedians of color who are not cis men. Yes, all in one single breath, honey. Now today I have a special episode for you. I went to see Wakanda Forever with Thanyia Moore and Sadie Sinner, and then we rolled straight from the cinema right to the studio to record this episode for you. Now, this is a spoiler alert. We are going to talk about everything from the film, from grief to growth to sexy visuals and sexy villains and the queer baiting. So if you have not seen this film, do not listen to this episode. Okay? I would say my advice would be listen to it right after if you don't have any homies to chat with as you're leaving the cinema. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to ruin your experience of Wakanda Forever. I want to enhance it, okay? And I feel like I've drawn out this intro long enough to where you could by now have made an informed decision, okay? So let's get into it. Yeah. I am thrilled to have just seen Wakanda Forever with my good friends. I'm sat here with the incredible Thanyia Moore, actor, comedian extraordinaire, and Sadie Sinner, producer, singer, goddess.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'll take goddess.
Yeah. It's multiple goddesses at the table.
Multiple.
Goddesses.
Okay.
But yeah, so we've just gone to see Wakanda Forever. It's the day after it's been released worldwide, and wow. Guys, can I get your just give me a little before we get into it.
Yeah.
Like 3 words.
Wow. Goodness. Wow.
Yes. Okay. I wanted more.
Oh, okay.
Ding, ding, ding.
Okay. I don't even have words. Sorry, I just started looking at you guys' nails. Wait, okay, speaking of nails, I want a manicure inspired by the new Black Panther suit.
Can we go together?
It's so cute.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Are you talking about like a 3D nail design?
I don't know,
because now they're in as well.
Yeah. Because if you have that black, but then you have that gold, that kind of copper, that silver, I think that'd be so gorgeous with a metallic situation. Anyway.
Oh my God.
We're into it.
Okay. My 3 words. Black girl magic.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I like that.
It was there.
I think context is key in everything. Where were you today before you walked into the theater? Like, where are you in life? Do you know what I mean?
Give it to me.
I was apprehensive, actually, about watching it because I tweeted that I was going to go see it today with you two. And someone replied saying, take tissues, you've been warned. So I was apprehensive because lots of people are saying that it deals with grief. And I had a really tough year, which included losing my puppy, my dog that I'd had for 10 years. So yeah, that was a tough one for me. So I was in like a... very worried that it might trigger lots of feelings that I wasn't feeling comfortable to have in a cinema.
I know what you mean. I saw online as well people saying if you've had to deal with grief recently, just watch out, be prepared.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, okay. So going into it, I was like, I guess I'm ready to have a cry.
Yeah.
I was like, if a cry comes, okay, cool.
It will come to you.
Yeah, I'm like manning up, getting prepared to weep, perhaps.
Yeah. See, I wasn't given the heads up for the tears.
But when you have seen this before today,
so I didn't know if we were going to do that or if I was going to use that emotion for today's episode.
Yeah, tell me.
I went to watch it on Wednesday.
How?
I had a preview invite.
Wow. Okay,
Rich went to the IMAX. Okay. We went to the IMAX.
Oh, you saw it.
And it was free food and drink.
You saw it big.
And we were in the queuing up to get in, and they were bringing the food and drinks to the queue outside. So we didn't miss the time of the free food and drink. So I was eating and drinking before I even arrived into the venue.
Who produced this event?
Babes.
That's exactly how you look after your guests.
So I wasn't given the heads up on the emotional thing. So I've had grief this year. And when I first watched it, I was crying to the point where I only watched so I don't know about Marvel and the bit in between the credits and the end credits.
Yes.
I only watched it because I couldn't move at the end. I was just paralyzed oh my God, this is so heavy. It was just a lot, do you know what I mean? And then it coupled with, I felt a lot of emotions just seeing all these different Black faces, these Black women, different shades, sizes, colors, just different noses, lips, different teeth, different eyes, different energies. There was so much emotion inside of me watching it on the first day that at the end, I just had to sit there for like a good 20 minutes and just hold that space for myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So today on the way in, I was just kind of saying to myself, you know what it is. You know what's about to happen or what could happen. But when I got in there, I felt tired from the emotion. I felt like I got in there and I sat down and then I remembered how I felt last time. And then I just kind of went, ugh. Like, punch me in the face. I wasn't ready for that.
The thing is, I feel like sometimes what the media can do, I feel like what its responsibility is almost, is to help us to navigate, to offer us something that we can use to navigate this life. And I feel like this movie was ushering us through grief. And I just found that so beautiful, and how it's a journey.
Yeah.
You know, and how along that journey you might make some choices that are harmful to yourself or others. You know, and that you could go either way. You could lean into that dark side, or you can find some new life, some rebirth, an opportunity. Yeah. I thought that was, Oh, and it didn't, I didn't feel hit over the head with the grief stick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It wasn't obvious. Apart from, so the two camouflages, the what do you call them? Where they had Chadwick just constantly showing.
The cameo.
The opening one was.
What is
what
it?
are they called?
Montage? Is that the one? Or is that montage?
It's a montage.
Like the past.
A montage is when you have lots of them just coming in together. And then it came into the Marvel sign. That for me was powerful. And then at the end where you see his son and the whole bit, it just hits, man. Like, God. Just like another, the strands of it is another young boy about a dad. Like the strands of women having to pick up the slack again.
And another young Black boy whose father was taken from him. Yeah. That's where that first movie kicked off. That was Killmonger's whole thing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So now we've got another Killmonger, but will he be Killmonger or will he be more T'Challa? We don't know until Black Panther 3.
All I know is he's adorable.
He is cute as hell.
That's the cutest little boy I've ever seen.
He was absolutely adorable.
Dimples, lips, all of the things.
Honestly.
But one thing I picked up from the movie altogether was Black women always save the day.
Look.
Always.
What I appreciated about this movie and then the marketing of it was, and sadly, I think this happened or was allowed to happen because of the passing of Chadwick.
Yeah.
But it wasn't marketed as a female film women-led film.
Well,
it was just the next Black
This
Panther
is why
movie.
I've been quiet, because I was like, oh, I'm going to say something that maybe
for it.
one listener will be like, I resonate with what Sadie Sin is saying.
I'm not.
I think that we've just watched like, I think there were like two different films happening at the same time. And whilst I admire the efforts to honor Chadwick's existence and the like historical role that he's had, I feel like it should have been one or the other, basically. Like this film either should have been a full dedication to him or an action film. The two things happening at the same time didn't actually hold enough space for things. So I thought I was going to cry today, and I think I was looking forward to crying today, but I felt no release. Because the film, to truly explore the grief of everyone really having lost Chadwick, we'd need a 5-hour film. And it would need to just be on that.
Dedicated.
And then we need an action film that like goes to the side of it, as a nice little treat if you want to.
This movie had a lot of jobs to do.
Exactly. And in like 2.5 hours or something, you can't
pack it in.
Yeah. I'm just a really big lover of film, and I just would have loved it to go deeper into grief, but because it needed to be an action film. Exactly. So that's my grievance today.
We need, to be honest, we need like a Chadwick documentary. Where we can sit in that grief and allow them to have that moment as well. But also the audience, we tend to forget that the audience also have feelings. They also have connections and relationships with these people. There's people who really want to mourn Chadwick.
Exactly.
In a way that they haven't been allowed to because we haven't given the space.
It felt like waves to me, where it like dipped into the grief, came out, fought a bit.
Yes.
I know what you mean. Before we get back into the grief, the looks.
Hey.
Oh.
My God.
Woof. Angela and this white hair,
That white hair was given.
The afro,
I like
the
it.
locks.
The soft curl it was.
Yes. Oh my gosh. At first, Lupita's lock wig wasn't sitting right. The locks weren't sitting right.
They weren't. It was
too
almost
high. Like it wasn't set properly.
Yeah.
But then it did come together.
Yeah.
It was like they had made the wig and they hadn't given the wig time to do it.
Exactly.
To
To
live.
live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The wig needed to wig before it actually wigged.
Before it was
yes.
It was wugging too soon.
It was wugging.
Before it was meant to wug.
It wigged and it shouldn't have wugged. That's hilarious.
Sure wugging.
Can we talk about that black and red number? That is it Denai? Is that her name? How do I pronounce it? I don't want to make a mistake because I want her to listen and love me.
We respect you and we love you.
Yes.
I think I want colorful tattoos on my scalp now.
Honestly.
Babes.
She's just
my sexuality changed. I thought I was kind of like, I know what I like, but now I know what I really like.
Now I know what I need.
Well done. Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
She's
good.
gorgeous.
Just the whole of her. This might just be a moment of us crushing on her for a second.
Yeah.
Let's take it. Let's hold it. But also, while we're on the topic of queerness and whatnot, Letitia Wright.
Ooh, I have so much.
The vibe. I'm just like, just be gay. Like, just let it happen. It's trying to jump out of you.
Do we know where she sits? Do we know what her relationship status is? Because I know she's quite a private person, isn't she?
Let me do
a little Google search.
Because the thing is...
Because I thought she was with a guy, but that doesn't mean she can't be bi.
It doesn't.
Right? Basically, I felt vibes between her and the Riri character.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The kinship.
Like, how a couple of like
just
show
the
her
shipping.
Show Mrs. Blah 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 where she's working.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like everyone's doing science. Okay. everyone's doing science now.
Everyone's doing science and falling in love.
Yeah, someone's beaker and someone's
Guyanese
solution.
British. That's fun. That's exciting.
Also, where did she grow up?
Georgetown. Well, she was born in Georgetown, Guyana, which is fun.
I want to know about her London roots.
29 years old.
She's only 29 right now.
I believe
29
it.
years
I believe
old.
it. You really doing it.
She's
like,
doing the damn thing.
the-
I felt that as well. Like, from the opening scene, just like pride.
Yeah, like sometimes I think people forget when we... Okay, we've been seeing Black American actors in Hollywood longer than we've been seeing Black British actors. So I was like, this is actually historical. Like, what the... Am I allowed to swear on this podcast?
Of course.
What the fuck?
It's
like Black girls from Northumberland Park don't fucking end up in Hollywood films.
It's like John Boyega and Star Wars.
What's happening here?
And can we just have a moment for the way they introduced Michaela? Just the just straight out the gate. And when they did the bringing the unveiling, and she popped her face back, and I was like, that was just wonderful for me.
I wanted more. I wanted more gay.
More of her?
More gay.
Because there's a character who's in Dora Milaje. I feel like I said that wrong. But it's fake, so it's fine, I think. I don't think... Do you feel like... Is it disrespectful to the lore of Wakanda to not pronounce Dora Milaje?
I want to say, as someone from the continent, you are forgiven. It's okay.
one of the warriors, at the end of the film, like, Michaela Cole's character gave her, like, a kiss on the head, and she was like, "Thank you, my love." And I was like, that's not enough gay for me.
No,
I don't have to ramp up the gay for me.
Yeah.
And they did that right after a scene with Shuri and Riri, which felt like they were trying to appease the queers. Yeah. They were like, I know you sense that. We're not going to give you that. You can have a little bit of this.
What I didn't like is we knew that Michaela was going to be gay, but we didn't know who she was going to be gay for. So, you know, when she was giving back the two, mini spears, I thought then she was gay for sure. Yeah, I was like, who you gay for?
I felt gay vibes.
I know you're gay, but who for? Everyone.
Every other character had like a husband or something.
Exactly.
But Michaela was just here being bad. She's mischievous. She doesn't go with the flow. All of the things that they say gays are. It's the things. It's very obvious. And then Shuri made her these little things just for her.
Exactly.
As a little thing. Like, come on, there's undertones. They just didn't want to give it to us.
Come on, Ryan Coogler.
I was reading between the letters, okay, guys? And there was LGBT in there.
Yeah. Do you know what? This is I don't know how this thought... I don't know how it sits, but I'm going to put it on the table. I felt like for that film to have been written by a man, I felt like it didn't feel like it. It felt like it had an emotional intelligence.
I know what you're saying as well. A lot of the male gaze was missing in regards to like the camera shots. So I'm a big film buff, by the way. So a lot of what was in the center of the camera wasn't always like butts, breasts and stuff. When we were looking at people's faces, it's actually their faces. Like we didn't get that over sexualization. So I can understand how
and
that's what you see.
And turning away from like pain and the leaning into the grief of it and stuff.
And even I like the idea of there not being the damsel in distress. Even when the Queen had that whole moment with Killmonger and had to leave and seek refuge, she didn't feel so distressed. She was still like standing in her queendom whilst asking for help. Do you know what I mean? And it felt nice not to have a man save the lady. It just felt like he could see that. For me, it felt like he saw his auntie needed a little bit of help, and he was like, "I can help you, auntie. I got you for now until you're back on top." Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Not let me save you. Let me carry you to the safety. It wasn't. It didn't. I didn't get that from it.
Whenever she had to rescue Riri, when Angela Bassett rescued her in the depths of the waters and had to swim with her to the top, I was like, "Oh, couldn't be me." Like, we both be dead down here.
Can I say something stupid? Because I've seen it twice, and every time I see it, it makes me laugh. When she wakes up and she's in the water, and she does that floating thing. It's so Tina Turner. It's giving. Every time she does it, that moment where she's like, oh, she's done that in Tina Turner so many times.
But she'll never be able to move her shoulders without it being a
Tina Turner. Like every time I see it, I'm like, wrong film, Angela.
Her shoulders belong to Tina Turner.
They do. That face, that moment she has around here in her mouth.
Yes,
that belongs to that movie.
Speaking of mouths, I'm gonna touch on it. The accents are just such a hard place for me because the thing is they're making up an accent. Yes, exactly. So I heard after the first film that they're making up an accent, so it's not meant to sound any particular.
It gives me, like, weak South Africa
so it just
sometimes.
That's what I was
between
getting
everywhere. Exactly.
Yeah, I was getting American, British, and South African.
I wish that they just placed it. Like, I wish that they just decided, we're going to go East African, we're going to go... So are we having these hard R's? Are we rolling them? Are we not? What's happening?
Because the rolls were coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
It was coming out of nowhere, and it was... Not every R should be rolled.
Yeah.
It was a lot. But also, I feel like they didn't place them because not everyone could actually sit on an accent.
Yeah, which is such a
you know what I
shame
mean?
because I think a lot of them are gifted actors.
Yeah.
So I don't see why not. For instance, I knew Michaela Cole would be able to because the first time I'd ever seen her was she was in Something Rising, that one that was on Channel 4. Yeah, what was it called?
Black Earth Rising.
There we go. Exactly.
She's also Ghanaian.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there we go as well.
Yeah. She's just a talented human being.
Oh, this cheek.
Honestly, when they had that camera shot from behind and you could just see her cheek, but I couldn't focus. I was like, wow, that's her actual face.
It's the sharpest face I've ever experienced.
Yeah, make it make sense.
Yeah.
I want to get cut on those cheeks.
Like literally, she has it's the eyes for me because you know when you do that thing with mascara and the
wing
thing, the wing thing, she has it naturally. Like her eyes just sit.
But also,
in
she
that
looks
way.
like a lioness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Nala vibes.
It's just this beautiful heart-shaped face.
Yeah.
Did I tell you? Like, so I was opening for Nish Kumar at the Hackney Empire, and he's friends with a lovely playwright and author who's maybe in the I'm like, is he a playwright? Maybe. Yes, he is. He definitely is. Who's friends with Michaela, and they came to the show. So
No way.
Yeah, mind you, so I saw her and the cheekbones backstage in the like green room before I had to go on and know that she was watching.
No.
Are you kidding me? I actually smashed it.
Yeah.
I was like,
You see.
Congratulations, girl. Okay,
Yes,
so can we
literally.
get into the
Please.
colonizer moments?
Yeah, how'd they feel for you? Was it
Like, I know we need them, and I like having them as the contrast. I like having them. Sadie's gonna send me. I know she.
No, I'm agreeing with
which colonizer
where I think this is
moments,
going.
though? Because there are moments where someone jokes, calling someone a colonizer. There are moments where you see people being colonized.
The jokes
Mm-hmm.
and the actual colonizers, not the colonizing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more to do with, I know we need them to create the balance. I know that we need them to have, because now they're the protagonists, which is nice, right? I just feel like there's still too many.
Agreed. I don't think there needs to be in that story at all. And
Why?
because
Why are you here?
at the end of the day, considering the two groups that they had fight each other, so why were any colonizers, is that just a code word we're going to use for this podcast?
White people.
Why were they in the room?
White people.
They literally didn't need to be in the film at all. And anytime they did have lines, they were just really redundant as well.
Yeah.
And also, I want to talk about a bit of a phenomenon that I think there was a bit of a cultural thing that was happening with this film that was different from the last one. I would have loved Riri Williams to have more lines. I felt that the lines that she did have were really stereotypical. They created an American archetype, and they didn't, whilst she was prestigious for being the scientist.
You gotta be kidding me.
Exactly. Yeah, come on, like...
I'm from the streets. I work on cars.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm from the streets.
I didn't
and it's
like
shocking that I'm a scientist because I wouldn't be a scientist. Not this young black girl from the streets.
I just didn't like
and I'm
that
only 19.
positioning.
Even in this context.
Yeah.
Exactly. It just didn't seem...
What I did appreciate, though, about the contrast between the way that Riri was a scientist, etc., and the way that Shuri was when they had that montage where they were both working. Shuri's was more digital. Like she was working with all the like holograms and shit. And Riri was like working with her hands. She was like, I'm gonna like pound this metal.
I'm in.
I thought that was really
that
cool.
is really beautiful juxtaposition. Yeah, exactly.
It is, because honestly,
of culturally what is understood to be worked with, where we are in the world,
but
from
also,
the developing to the
But
I love it. I really love this stuff, everyone.
And in the world as well, though, because some people would go, the moving of the hologram, obviously the technology one is more important, more needed, or the way it needs to be. And it's like, no, we need all of those
exactly.
elements.
We can't lose the original art handed to us from our ancestors. Our hands, baby. I wish that they had not released Rihanna's song before the film. actually. And I know that
Yeah.
sounds like such a weird thing to say,
No,
because
you're right.
by the time it played in the film,
hadn't
the
heard it
air
before, but
changed in the cinema. And I didn't know like if people want to burst out laughing or something, because it just felt like, this song. So when Rihanna released it, everyone was like, it's anticlimactic because we thought Rihanna would come out with a club banger after so many years of having not given us music. So that kind of eclipsed what the song was about.
Yeah.
So then that changes our interaction with it
Yes.
now. So I would have loved if we had never heard the song and then we were just all in the cinema and then we're all, but it's because of the way the world works that as soon as one person would have heard there, they would have leaked the song.
That's it.
It's
It would have been
not-
It would have been so powerful if that was
It
the first
wasn't-
time you heard
you
it.
heard it.
It would have
Yeah,
offered
the weight.
us,
Exactly.
Yeah.
a
Because then
moment
it
of
isn't.
catharsis
It's
that-
not a pop song.
Yeah.
It's not that song from the radio, and you don't have all the thoughts that you already had when it dropped 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
I actually haven't listened to it. I don't know how I managed to do these things.
Well done.
But
No, I hadn't listened to it.
Oh, okay.
But when
So
it
I
came
had
on-
that first time I watched it, I had all the
What was
feelings
your
that you would
thought?
want. It's weighty.
Exactly. Thank you. It's a beautiful
weighty,
song.
and it makes you cry more.
And what upset me so much is like when the song actually came out, as I said, people were like, it's not a club banger. So now we had to deal with that. And I'm like, fuck off. She didn't say she's bringing a club banger.
Literally was when the song started playing. Oh, this is that song they were talking about.
Yes,
Right,
and then
so that
many people
ruins
are
it.
like criticize it exactly,
They
and they were
took
like,
it right out
there
of it.
aren't many words, there aren't many this, her
It
voice
felt
doesn't sound
weighty
great,
to
blah blah
me.
blah 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 blah.
It was
and
perfect.
I'm like, come on, it was perfect.
It was a great choice.
I also
She sung
think
it
sonically,
beautifully.
it's a beautiful,
Yes.
it's wonderful.
Actually,
the raspiness fits
Yes.
with the grief that we're kind of feeling with this whole action grief music. It fits.
soundtracks and scoring are so important. And it's also a way that your thing can live on.
Yes.
You know?
Outside of the realm of the cinema as well, because it lives in other realms, and then you'll get like, you go on TikTok and then you start getting the
1000%.
dances.
Who have worked on that?
Social sciences, Thanyia.
Just
What's
saying,
happening?
just saying.
Yeah.
Trying to be down with the kids, Sadie. You know what I mean?
The soundtrack of the first movie was done by Kendrick Lamar. I don't think this one was.
The music by Ludwig
Göransson.
Göransson.
I remember seeing him before because he is half of Childish Gambino. He is who works with Donald Glover and like co-writes and produces his music.
Oh.
And I saw him in this documentary and I remember thinking, but that's because I like boys that look like Jesus. Because I'm a Christian.
You love him.
Oh, wow. That's not what I thought he looked like when your phone was the other way around. I can tell you that right now.
I want to see now.
Listeners,
Oh, you white.
get
Let
your
me
phone
see.
and head to the old search
Look
engine.
up Ludwig Göransson.
That's L for
Send
Ludwig.
it to your
U
girl.
for you are so sexy, Ludwig. D for damn, Ludwig.
Let me see.
Oh my gosh, sorry, yeah.
I think it's because his hair is so long.
Oh, you
keeping him
really
for
do
ourselves.
like them
I
like
love
this.
a
No,
lot.
they keep
Yeah.
strolling because
Look around.
the first picture,
Baby
he's
swagging
like
beautiful.
he went to the forest for a bit, but if you look at the
It
rest,
just progressively gets towards Jesus, doesn't it?
Yeah. So,
Wow,
so we know he has,
wow, that one.
that's so
wow.
wild because
Yeah,
like
I know,
Jesus
I
doesn't
know.
even look like what we think he does.
I know.
You know what I
That's
mean?
wild.
Like,
Jesus
So
is a black man
actually-
anyway.
But my
that's what I'm
man,
saying.
my man is attracted to the propagandized, colonized.
Yeah.
You like the
Yes,
savior-looking dudes? You want to be saved?
I'm trying to get white saved.
Who first depicted that Jesus? Does anyone know who first depicted that Jesus?
No idea.
So just we know who
white
to blame.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like if we were like Michelangelo's Jesus.
It was
do you know
me.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It was me. I did it. I time traveled.
I
Kids
knew
is a
it.
black
I said I'm
man
tired of
anyway.
it. I'm tired of this woolly hair. So Ludwig produced the soundtrack.
Yeah.
He was mining Nigerian and Mayan music traditions to represent Wakanda and Talokan. For those of you listening, first of all, don't be listening to this if you haven't seen the movie. That's crazy to do unless you never want to see it. But Talokan obviously are the new party that's introduced. The other people with the vibranium.
Tell me when you're ready to get into the
Honey,
Taliban.
let's get into the
Okay,
Taliban,
first of all,
please.
I just want to say for all people who identify as or culturally are from where the Talikans are from, I'm so sorry that you're blue all the time.
Yeah, hopefully it's okay for you.
What? That's kind of dumb. It's the same way that like black people are always just like
The
they're always a
villains
color.
or the-
No, they're just all, like always an animal or always
Purple
something
or-
like that.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, come on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to move on from that though and say that why was that guy so sexy?
He was so fucking hot.
There was no
Namor.
need,
Oh my
babe.
god.
and it was what he just believed in. What was his name?
Namor.
No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him his real name.
No,
I'm gonna call him.
When he's like the child
Kanan.
with the I know who you're talking about. Sorry. Well,
Cog-
because they were both his name, but
Yes,
that was
exactly.
his god
But I want to call him
name.
his god name because I'm not his enemy.
my God.
Oh,
You're
wow.
calling him his enemy
I want to
now.
call him by his god name too.
Listen,
Oh, my
Sadie
God.
said I want to call him by his god name because I'm not his enemy.
But what's his other one?
Yeah, I want to call him by his.
Not Cuerta.
Oh my
Cuerta.
gosh! Honestly, all day, every day,
Cannot
you
Cuerta.
were
My
excellent.
God.
Your acting
He's
was
41. He looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow, but also AJ,
my
nothing but a
God.
number.
And a time ain't nothing but a thing.
The feelings I have for you, they will never, ever, 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 ever
My
change.
gosh.
Not for
So
you,
moved
Tenok.
by him.
Tenok Cuerta.
Oh, he's Mexican, phenomenal.
He was just wonderful.
And I
my
don't see
gosh.
any partner information.
What?
Right. Because it's important to look up these things. We have to know before we get excited.
Okay, so what I loved about the exploration or the depiction of these
I
two
can't find his
cultures were
name.
like the matriarch, obviously, in the
Yeah.
Wakandan culture. And then here it was this really dignified,
Oh my God. And
chosen
Namor's
son.
mom was so gorgeous.
Exactly,
as
that's what
well.
I'm- yeah.
She was a beautiful
Yes.
woman.
I feel like the Talukans were just really dignified, even in
Yes.
his reasoning.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In why he was doing everything.
Exactly.
Yes.
I just loved
I was
it.
thinking
Yeah.
that the first movie and this one, I respect. Like, I think these are some of the best villains. I feel because they both.
Oh, they are so nuanced.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
are not generic at all.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is such a personal
Both
pain that they
Killmonger
each
and
come
Namor.
from.
Yeah.
And it's about wanting to serve and preserve their people as
Yes.
well.
And you can look at both of them and go, I get it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
get
They're
it.
giving us full,
Yeah.
deep villains, not the ones who are just like, oh, I'm upset that that person didn't date me.
Yeah.
So I think it calls us to question in ourselves,
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
oh, is this the beginning of my villain story?
Hey.
At any moment, any time.
And it became even more meta, even more like layered when Killmonger shows up as the ancestor for sure.
I loved it. It was right.
Yeah.
It was right.
Yeah. 'Cause
I was
when
like,
he said,
how are
you
we gonna
called
do-
me.
Yeah.
Chadwick here, we can't do
Nah.
Chadwick
Yeah.
here. Is
When
it
he
gonna be
said-
Daddy here? Like I was
Yeah.
proper like,
Mama
who's it gonna
here.
be? Is it
Yeah.
I
Killmonger?
loved
I
it.
was like,
And I love the way that it
Yeah.
tied in because her fight was in vengeance.
Yeah.
So then when she was losing so many people and she wasn't even there, she wasn't even aware, and her mother would never make that decision.
yeah.
We saw how her mother would like put her own life to protect people.
Yeah.
And Shuri was just out there trying to avenge.
Yeah.
But this isn't
Blinded.
the Avengers.
It's
Okay, full stop.
not. I don't know how to voice it, so I'll voice it and we can work with it.
Okay.
I didn't appreciate that and I'm Wakandaing myself. I didn't appreciate that Wakanda was fighting with the indigenous brown people. I didn't appreciate the pitting against each other, but I did appreciate that we were all in the film. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, that's what I liked as well. I thought about that. I
Yeah.
thought about our brown like cousins
Yeah,
who
yeah,
would be
our
like, okay,
family.
cool, calm. But what annoyed me
Black
is
and brown
taking it
shut
back
it
to the
down,
colonizer
baby.
bit. The
Mhm.
real damage was done by the colonizers.
Exactly.
I wish that Shuri had got to explain, like, by the way, they tricked her. She made that as a school project. Like, she never
I
knew it was
know.
going to be made into something. Like,
what's so
our fight is not
annoying-
with each other.
Yep. But the annoying thing about film, etc., is with that conversation stops all the fights.
Yes,
and we don't have a
exactly.
movie without that chat. And that's what's
Exactly.
fucking annoying about it.
That's what I was
Yeah.
because the reason why I accepted it is because one, we were all there, but two, at least they showed us that it was very clearly miscommunication, misunderstanding. So it wasn't just two ignorant cultures attacking each other. We had a place by place understanding of why this was happening. We all know it shouldn't happen.
Yep.
We know why it's happening. So I was like, I'll take it because you've laid out the groundwork in that. They're not just two really angry, uneducated tribes
Yeah.
coming together and attacking each other because they
And
want
everybody
something.
was gorgeous.
But I would have
Yeah,
loved to
it was
see
all
more
protection-based.
accountability, like of the white people in the situation. Because
Yeah.
I feel like that didn't get resolved. Didn't
No.
we just like have this big fight? And then the two
They were
like
just being,
people
like,
of color were
insidious
like,
off to the
"Hey,
side.
come, we're gonna be gang now." And then it was the end of the film.
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" They didn't have to go like defeat the land people or anything, but I just wanted something to return us. It didn't full circle for me.
There was no return.
It didn't. Yeah, it didn't full circle.
There was no return.
Considering what we started with,
Yeah.
was
It was like the grief thing got somewhat resolved.
Yeah.
But the
actual story?
conflict thing didn't get.
But is that, are we saving that now for number 3?
For number 3.
Maybe.
Because there was the whole, remember they brought up, in the beginning, they brought up this whole thing about the police coming together and wanting to take down Wakanda.
Exactly.
We never revisited that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's number 3.
That's what I'm struggling with.
And then the new T'Challa's going to come and save the day.
Was it?
Oh my God!
Was it
Tanya's written it.
Hey, it's me, Kima B, letting you know that if you like listening to us fuck it up in your house, if you like listening to us fuck it up in your car or on your train, you will absolutely love being in the room where it happens. We usually record our episodes in London in front of a live audience, and let me tell you, it's one of the most beautiful audiences I've ever seen, and I would love for you to join us. For more info, check out Fuck It Up Comedy on Insta or Twitter, or go to fuckitupcomedy.com.
What I like to do sometimes is look around the room as well, like who else is responding to this?
Yes.
The first time that I watched it, I was sat next to a row of middle-class white men who, throughout the whole film, missed every black joke under the planet. But you know how like we were all like, that's funny, they didn't get it. But like at the end, when I felt like it was undeniably emotional, I'm looking around the room to see what your response is, and they don't have a connection
No, not at all.
to any of this.
Not at all.
Which
Not
is
at
crazy.
Like, not to digress too much, but similar when I went to see Hamilton.
Oh.
You know that thing is long, yo. There were this white family sitting next to us. They fell asleep during it. And I was sitting there. My inner child is like living for this musical theatre inner child of me.
Yeah.
I was just like, why you? Just let's have
Get
black
out of
only
our space
screenings
then.
and black only.
That thing, the science and studies on like the empathy gap, that basically all people are not as easily able to connect to stories with characters with people that don't look like them.
Yeah,
It's
that's true.
harder.
I have
Yeah.
I've noticed that in myself.
I can
have some
imagine
of
that. I
those
love
sometimes.
horror films and they all got white people in them.
Yeah.
But I think the difference is with the empathy gap, though it does apply to everyone, I feel like non-white people practice more.
Oh, completely.
Because we have to.
Yeah.
So we're more used to putting ourselves in other shoes.
Yes.
Whereas I think oftentimes, especially white men, are not.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting.
We dealt with so many different types of grief, actually. Now I'm thinking when the Talakans, I might be getting the name wrong, were forced out of their home and like the grief of that. But then she had the grief of not being able to return to land.
Yeah.
Like there were so many different types of grief here. A grief for identity, like belonging. What?
Even I keep forgetting her name. I don't know why I keep doing that. But when they told her she couldn't be the head general anymore,
Yeah.
Jesus,
that's her
my
real
heart
name.
broke for her. 'Cause I was like, come on.
Yeah, me too. And the way
At
she
least
begged,
send her back.
and she begged,
Begged
such dignity. I
hard.
loved it.
Yeah.
That
Oh my
was
God. But then for Angela to
incredible.
go, I've lost everything.
Yes.
When she said, I'm the queen
Yeah.
of the most powerful nation in the world.
Ooh.
Oh, but then hold on. When Shuri said, I've just buried the last person that truly knew me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've just buried the last person that
Truly knew me.
Shit.
That
man.
feeling of abandon, that orphan.
But you know,
that-
when she said that, I couldn't help but think back to, I think their last exchange was her pretending that the signal had cut.
Yeah. Oh,
You know, when
my
her
God,
mum was
it
trying to say, don't go. And she's like, oh, sorry, I can't hear you. So I actually had a bit of a difficult time
Sadie.
reconciling that because I was like, I don't know, bro, you don't really respect your mom. Like, I get it, but you are very willful. You are a willful character.
Because also she didn't acknowledge that. Like, because I think if you're really gonna...
Some sense of accountability,
Right.
Yeah.
If you're
emotional
gonna
accountability
do the
that I
lessons in
was
the
not the
film,
best
go ahead and
to
do
her.
that,
I wish I
yeah.
had
Do you
been.
know why I say she did have that? Because you know when you don't want to hold yourself accountable, you go to the other ends. That's what the vengeance
Well
was about.
done.
She didn't want to focus on the emotion and the grief and the hurt she was feeling
Well
because of
done.
what she didn't
Well
do. She was just like, do you know what? Let me focus on being
Yeah.
angry. And it was like everyone else's fault that her mum had died and that her last moments with her mum were horrible.
Exactly.
But really, you should have just been like, I was a bit of a shit.
Yeah.
Do you know? And it would have healed you a little bit sooner than this.
Very much, because she kept a lot of things to herself. She didn't
Yes.
tell anyone that she asked to go to the Talakan players,
Yes.
you know, and then that inspired the first battle between the two tribes,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah.
Like her little secrets. and she wouldn't tell Lupita who she saw
Yeah.
when she drank the heart. Like, her little secrets are very powerful.
Yeah.
And those, it's always interesting because, you know, I'm learning about like screenwriting and stuff and storytelling and stuff. And like, you know, in the first movie, I don't know if Shuri really seemed to have many major flaws, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the characters got to have them.
Yes,
And
completely.
I think it was always that, you know, she was really like, tech is the way, and a bit mischievous.
Yeah.
And playful, but it wasn't harmful. But here, that independence, that rebelliousness, and that emphasis on tech.
Yeah.
You know, but then that emphasis on tech came around to be what the opponents didn't have.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like that.
My goodness. How did you guys feel about the that kind of peaceful resolution? I'm not gonna lie, I dug it. Partially because I feel like Marvel movies are like, you know, comfortingly, but then almost tediously like predictable, right? We find out who's the enemy, and then we have one battle that's smaller, and then like a medium one, and then all the A plot and B plot and C plot. There's all one big fight at the end, and then we win.
Well done. That is the Marvel formula.
Do you know what I mean? So I think to have one where it was like it didn't skimp on the action, but it still gave us like peace, even though we see that that's probably going to be temporary.
Yeah, so that's what I don't like about some films. I feel like it feels to me like they get to the writing room, they get to the point where it's the end of the movie and they got to wrap it up now. And they have to find a quick way to do that so we're not taking too much more time. I don't think the peace and the resolution was what we needed for the end of this movie. It would have been nice if he died and then that one woman who came across like his wife,
I know what you mean.
She could have rose up. Then we could have had another female powering moment where it could have been like, do you know what I mean? The women on the women. That would have been nice. But I just feel like it was cheap to resolve the situation with him still being alive. I feel like she should have killed him as she promised she would, even though
and she
the promise that she made was to Killmonger, so I understand why she didn't do it.
Yeah.
Because like her victory, okay, I'll just say, and then
was moral.
Well, yeah, it was more that he gave it to her.
Yeah.
So because when you're asking someone to yield, you're still asking them. They're actually in the power position. Even though she was able to make the threat, like if you don't do this, blah blah blah. But he gave it. So whilst he is respecting her for being so powerful and having this moment where she could have killed me, but she didn't.
Yeah.
It's like, well, actually, you were the most powerful person because you yielded.
Yeah.
You had the choice there.
Yeah.
And I know that he thinks he's super smart because obviously he was like, if people come for Wakanda, then Wakanda will call on us to take them out. But I'm like, I don't know. I think somehow it's transactional. And transactional friendships are not friendships, actually.
No, thank you.
Friendships aren't transactional.
No.
So it's far too conditional.
Yeah. And again, she was moving emotionally and not thinking.
Yeah.
Which I liked, but also I didn't like because that's what they say women do. So there's so many strands to it where you're like,
Thank you.
Because like being so revengey and vengeancey and let's get violent, I enjoyed that that's what they say women don't do. But then it was like harmful and I was like, oh no, like, do you know what I mean?
Literally. It's a hard one. You're happy and sad all at the same time. It's a proper mix of emotions, I felt like, throughout the whole film. Yeah. But on the whole, I'm glad that it's made. The representation, the feelings that I get from seeing, again, the different types of women. You know.
That's what I was thinking. So when it was happening, I was like, Sadie, what is the cultural phenomenon about this film? Yeah. Like, step it away from the superhero bit, and then even move it away from like just Black people, because that's not what it is. There's something else about it. Yeah. And maybe because everyone doesn't look Hollywood that is in it. You know, as you said, so many different shades, so many different body types.
Noses, lips, eyes, skin, right? Cheekbones, not cheekbones. Yeah. Jaw, like this thing Angela has down here on her jaw. Jesus, crikey, it's a lot. And it's like, I was watching it the first day and I was like, how dare you say Black women are ugly?
Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I thought. And then I was like, I would love to see every film with just all Black people. Like, I just want to live in that universe just for a little bit.
Do you know how beautiful we are? It's insane.
That's exactly what I thought.
Show me a white lady with a bald head that can flex the way like we flex.
Hey.
There are so many like cultural phenomenon that are going on that, as we noted, white audience members might not even be able to pick up on
That's
that.
it.
It's like it's like dog whistles.
Yes, it is.
So the that thing of like the diaspora, her being in Haiti.
Babes, honestly, that was
Such
so
a
powerful.
big
Yeah,
deal.
that was
pulling the
a lot.
Caribbean into the mix.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
That was
And
very
what
important.
one to choose as well.
Yeah.
Haiti was so poignant.
Exactly, because also
normally
they
they
were
would've
all
gone to
speaking
Jamaica
French the entire time. Hey, and want to talk about colonizers? Like,
Babe,
come on.
you could have
It
gone
was
to Jamaica,
beautiful.
Barbados, the common places,
Yeah.
but you chose the place that normally would be seen as like, you know, the super third world. It's destructible. It's nothing's happening there. They're so poor.
And also
they're so uneducated. They were in a school. All the kids look wonderful.
Yeah.
They look great. They sounded great. Like
and
there's
Haiti
so much.
has such a history of big revolutionary energy as well.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah. A lot more happens on that beautiful island than what the media over here give credit for.
Oh, completely. Yeah, it deserves to be platformed and have
But
its
that's
story
that
told.
of everywhere. I always think that about Mexico, like being in Texas, I feel like the propaganda about Mexico is not right. It's basically very Donald Trump vibe.
Yeah.
I kid you not. The ads that are had, and this might be interesting for viewers if you're listening from outside of the UK or inside the UK. They're like Visit Mexico ads out here. I don't remember ever seeing anything telling me to go to Mexico when I was in Texas. Mexico is fucking beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah, Mexico is huge. Mexico is complex. But there is this propaganda stream that paints it as like desert cartel place or something.
That is
It is, because that's
Yeah.
what anything out of Mexico is like your Narcos-esque type
All the
vibes, where
those
it's
TV
drugs and
shows
trafficking.
stuff.
Drugs and trafficking, that's literally all you get from
And it's only, I think, more recently where we see, you know, they have those, I mean, it seems like every culture that's not white people right now needs to have their We're Rich reality TV shows. It's like, we got money too show.
There's a need to show that we're not all poor.
Yeah.
And I get it, because we're not.
Or just that money isn't a homogeneously white thing, as in like generational wealth does exist in different cultures in different ways.
Yes.
So I was just watching, I think it's like Young Rich Africans or whatever.
I watched that.
Fun.
Again, let's park that, because
Yeah,
we'll
I
spend
would
another
say
hour
that's a
on
different
this.
podcast.
Can I suggest
Double other
something?
thing.
Yeah, and I think this might be a thing, because I think because we're raw in the emotions, we just watched the film. There might be some things we're missing out on. Maybe we should part 2 this bad boy.
Oh
I
yeah,
agree.
give
Put
us
this
some
out.
time to
Give us
ponder.
time to think.
Yeah.
Maybe have a look at other reviews and stuff, and then maybe
Yeah.
get some listeners to like go and watch the film, and then send
us
in
know
their
what's
views, and then we can discuss.
I'd love to know
At that
what you guys
point.
think at home. That's a great shout, Thanyia.
Thank you.
If you guys, if any of what we've shared today has like resonated with you, or like if it hasn't, if you disagreed, let us know, because we'd love to come back to this conversation, especially as we've had more time to like sit with it. Can I ask you, what would you like to see in the third installment?
Ooh.
I want more looks. Like whatever they do with the story is not even my business. You do you. But I feel like if the costume designer for Black Panther made a lot of the like shit readily available, honey.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Lupita's warrior like
Outfit,
suit.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Such
just
a
love this really
vibe.
unique interpretation of Afrofuturism, really.
Yes.
That really, really lends to like
Yeah.
the past. Because obviously like our earlier understandings and depictions of it were kind of like Missy Elliott. Very like space futuristic. But what we have here is such a like...
It's grounded.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm just... Yeah.
It feels earthy. It feels
How
like
clever.
you'll see you know, like a crystal or a moon rock next to like a piece of wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And like the shapes of things as well. It's very...
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I want 2 things in number 3.
What do you want?
I want to see us come together, black and browns, and fight the whites.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Just
all
do
I want.
it. Just do it.
Number 2, I want to be in it. Those are the 2 things I want for Black Panther. Number 3,
Do
we
you
can
know
dream.
what? Do you
One
know-
of them must happen.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Because I love you so much, your number 2 is more important than number 1.
Yeah.
That's right. I'll turn on everyone.
Come on.
I'll turn on everyone to give my girl a role.
Oh.
Do you know what you
I just
want?
thought about something.
Yes,
you know how we
say
were
it,
saying
say it.
that cute little kid at the end probably won't be in the third film so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he can, because what if the third film is about like his teenage blah, blah, but has bare flashbacks to him as a little kid and how he was learning all the
my
stuff to get to
gosh.
who he is now.
Lion King, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
gonna
cool.
be
At some point
a
in there,
king.
I should be able to catch a role.
That's
My mind's focused. I'm like, you can
teacher.
make up all your songs you want. I just want to roll.
Get out,
I just
get
want to
out.
roll.
You already have short hair.
Yeah,
true.
I was like, I can be bald, and
It's
I can be
true.
bald and have striking features.
You will
Yeah.
look good with those scalp tats.
Wait, listen.
Come on.
Don't let me drop these pounds. You'll see these cheekbones, okay?
Snap out of the face.
What?
I'm dead.
I'll snatch
Oh
my
my
face.
God.
I would just, in the next film, I just need them to recognize that they have a limited amount of time, and if they want to do the story, and like, it's okay to just have the one story. It's okay.
Yeah.
But also, can we just comment on,
yeah.
so Thanyia referenced earlier the opening like montage Marvel bit, and the cinema, you could have heard a pin drop.
Yeah.
You could have heard a pin drop in the beginning bit.
Yeah.
You could have heard a pin drop at the end.
Yeah.
When has that ever happened in cinema?
Never.
If we just talk about how, as we said, this was they really wanted to give viewers an opportunity to mourn Chadwick.
And we did.
And then to mourn
people
whatever
did.
else.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, whatever else you were carrying.
Mm.
Well, exactly.
I thought that was a very beautiful offering.
Yeah.
It was a really beautiful offering. I really appreciated the themes on empathy as well.
Yes.
The moment where Shuri saw the Talokan people in the way that she saw the people of Wakanda.
Yeah,
Like,
it fits.
I figured out what I want actually after all.
Yeah.
And it is more gay.
Yes.
Just let it happen.
Yeah.
And
3 has to be more gay.
And
because
if you're not, then Letitia, I'm gonna need you to stop with the undercuts because it's appropriation.
Can I just say something as well, though? I feel like we should give a little bit more space for the lack of gay, because if Chadwick didn't die, there probably would have been more room for the gay. I feel like this movie was focusing
It had
on
to
the
do a
grief
lot of
Well done.
and the empathy. So now we've got 3.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
3 needs to start out with 2 people kissing and they're the same sex. Like it needs to start gay. But 2 was mostly about, let's focus on honoring
journey.
Chadwick, this journey.
We're
Let's be
grieving.
delicate with the actors and be mindful of their mental state.
Speaking of being delicate, thank you. You said it earlier that they probably filmed the grieving scenes at the end.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Letitia's tears were completely real.
Completely
real.
Oh, 100%.
When they did that scene,
Yeah.
when her mum is standing next to her, not when they're even at the funeral,
No.
but just when they were. Yeah, that
Girl,
was real.
That was real.
I could see it.
And
That
Angela,
was-
even
yeah.
Angela trying to have that mum moment of wanting to cry but holding it back, but she's the queen. That was real.
Yeah.
That was serious.
And I want to thank them for lending that part of themselves. I always think that about
Yes.
celebrities.
Yeah.
Is that they have their feelings
Yeah.
in front of the whole wide world.
Yeah.
And that's giving, and that's their own generosity. So I
Yeah.
thank them for that.
Yeah.
1,000. Also, it is a testament to how good that man must have been.
Jesus.
Hey.
And
You
just
know?
for the fact that, like Sadie said, the cinema was quiet.
Mhm.
We all felt him
Yeah.
or that grief
Yeah.
at some point,
Yeah.
and we never even met him.
Yeah.
Or at this point, I think I met Letitia about 4 months ago. So that's like a little separation. But again, we haven't even been around his orbit
Yeah.
like that. But we felt it. That's massive testament to him as a person.
He gave.
For sure.
Guys, thank you so much for sharing this moment with me. It's been wait, before we go, that moment where you know the film is tear jerking and you know your tears are getting jerked and you know that everybody else around you is getting jerked off as well. And you'd be like, ooh, am I about to hear somebody crying? Am I about to catch somebody doing a little eye wipe, hear a little sniffle? I think that's always it's always such an interesting moment for me in public or at home.
Yeah.
Like watching a movie with like my mom and my nana, we'll all like cry at a film.
Yeah.
And like there's always this moment where I could feel it and we're all like welling up, but just trying to be private about it. But we're like right next to each other.
That is so black woman. Let them tears out, girl. I'm a crybaby. The tears will roll and I don't care. I'll be that one like this. I don't care. Let them fly. I'm a crybaby. They need to come out.
I just love those moments where you could just feel like it's hitting.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Thanyia, Sadie, thank you so much for joining me in this and for, just being so brilliant, sharing in this experience.
Thank you.
Honestly, if you guys have anything coming up that the good people can know about, blah, blah.
Oh, I have but one thing to inform the good people of. And that is on Saturday the 10th of December, if you're in the mood for celebrating Black people, if you're in the mood for celebrating Asian people, all under the guise of Christmas, then come along to Shoreditch Town Hall for the Cocoa Butter Club's Christmas show, baby. There's going to be pole, circus, song, drag, burlesque. It's going to be off the chain.
What time does it start?
7:30.
And what time does it end?
Wow, okay, what is this, an inquisition?
Because I'm working and I'm trying to see how I'm going to get there.
There is a website. Thank you very much.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I got excited.
Ask Rihanna what time her concert's going to end.
Damn it. Rihanna, email me.
If you guys don't know, the Cocoa Butter Club is like why Fuck It Up exists, and it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So check out the Cocoa Butter Club online and check out Sadie Sinner online. Incredible stuff all around. Also, Fuck It Up will be doing a live show at Shoreditch Town Hall a few days before on December 7th. And that's going to be sick. And Evelyn Mock is coming. Ooh. Sophie Duca is coming. Laura Ricote is coming. Esther Manito is coming. And Ninja Benjamin is coming. And I'm very excited.
All the bad bitches.
It's literally like, it's insane.
It's a great lineup.
It's
so
He's very mischievous.
I'm just so excited. Also, one of the most fun things is like how we're having this moment right here. Like I love so many of the people that I work with, and so I'm just excited to be in good company on the 7th as well. And I'm including you, my lovely audience. Don't feel like I'm not incorporating you into the live.
You're incorporated.
I'm excited to exchange energy with everyone. It's going to be sick. What about you, Thanyia?
I'm just doing this is the last 3 times you'll ever get to see my first hour. I'm doing my Soho run on 24th, 25th, and 26th of November. I'll be staying for drinks on the 26th. Not on the 24th or 25th because the bitch has got shit to do.
What time does it start, Thanyia?
7:15 p.m.
What time is it finished?
8:15 p.m. I'm not Rihanna Sadie Sinner, okay? I'm a regular schmegular girl from down the road.
From around the way.
Oh my goodness. But one second, just because I want sponsorship by them, you can definitely check out Tanya's show after, like you've been to the Kai Collective sample sale. That's happening on the 24th, 25th, and 26th of November.
No, you just told people to go and buy the things that we need to buy.
No, but I support Black businesses.
That's
true.
But
you only go and support them after you buy a ticket to my show. So buy your tickets to my show, to Fuck It Up, and to the birthday, to the Christmas party.
To the Cocoa Butter Club Christmas show.
And then
you
go
can
and
go
spend
to the sample sale. But you have to go after we've already gone and picked out what we want.
Or buy it for me. I'll take a picture.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Thank you.
We're cheeky. Bye. That was such a treat. Absolutely love those girls, and I love that film for different reasons. And I know that it will bring different things out of people, whether it's inspiration, whether you're enjoying the beauty, whether you're navigating grief yourself. And I want to know like how it made you feel and what it made you think about. I'm really curious in the experience that this film is creating, and that's why I wanted to do this episode, to take a moment to kind of just sit with the cultural impact of it. Sadie and Thanyia, as we mentioned, have work that you can support. So go on and do that. We hope to see you at Shoreditch Town Hall and at Tanya's show. And this is the second to last episode of the season, which is very bittersweet because Mama needs a break, but also I'm gonna miss you. But you know that while we're taking that break, we're gonna be thinking about ways that we can come back even bigger and even badder. That's it for the Fuck It Up Comedy Club podcast this week.